marriage, relationships, and friends. That's what we're focusing on today. What's your self-talk? My name is Jahbari McLennan, and I have the pleasure of coming to you every Tuesday at 7:45 and just asking this real important question. What's your self-talk? Now, the way that I choose to use this question is to have you focus on whether you are being more on a growth mindset or a fixed mindset. So I tell you to ask that question, what's your self-talk, so you can say, what state of mind am I in when I want to maybe choose this specific area of life that I want to focus on. So today we'll be talking about marriage and friendships and relationships. Now, I have to admit, I did just come off a very, very fun and very insightful marriage retreat / vacation. What happened is we usually, right now it's consistent of 4 couples who get together, and this is our second year doing it. And what we have done is learning how to incorporate our beliefs, which is we are strong Christians, and understanding how we view marriage, and what are the things that we need to do to continue to get stronger in our marriage, how we need to view our marriage, how we need to view relationship with each other, and just friends with our spouses and with each other. And those are the things that I'm going to focus on because I want you to give a little insight on kind of some of the great things that we had a chance to experience and give you an overview on why I want you to start focusing on this. If you are married or even if you're single, what are the things that you need to start thinking about? Who are the people you need to start being around? Who are the people you need to start asking questions to? So you can start saying, hey, I want to be able to have, those type of trips that I can take with people. I want to be able to have those friends. I want to have that type of relationship where I can trust. So that's what we're focusing on today. So before we go into that, make sure if this is valuable to you, I want you just to share this one person. I have a lot of people reaching out, and I thank you for coming and watching this. And just share, but other than that, we're going straight into it. So, when it comes to marriage, that is something I'm real passionate about. Now, if you don't know my story, kind of give you a quick overview. My parents were divorced when I was at a very young age. And now, as I start to dig more into my story, I realize that I value my marriage because I never had the opportunity to really see what a healthy marriage looked like. Because all I ever seen was my parents, going at each other's neck. They were always arguing. They was always fussing. So now that I start to look back at my story, I'm like, why do I value my marriage so much? Why do I love it? Because I didn't get a chance to see that. And as I have kids and I want to inspire and I want to encourage, I want to be able to have that healthy marriage. So everything that I always do, I make sure that it's something that's focused around building a healthy marriage. So it's a few things that we focus on this trip, but one thing that I just really focus on throughout my life, and I want to share that with you. For one, is just simply making time for each other. Now, me and my wife, we do have a business together. We have real estate investment, so we do get a chance to see each other very often. But maybe you are someone who don't get a chance to really see your spouse, maybe first thing in the morning or then later on in the evening. After work, when you're tired and you've been using your brain, or maybe the kids. So it's so much stuff that's probably going on, including holiday season, including vacations. It's so much stuff going on. So what are the things that you need to do? It's just simply be intentional about your time. Now, this is something that me and my wife always focus on, is finding one time a week that we want to make sure we have a date night. Date night is to be able to get away, have dinner, and spend time together. Why? Because you need to spend time with each other and have intellectual conversation. And that's having those deep conversations and saying, hey, what's going on with you? How are you changing? What's going on inside your heart? What's going on inside your mind? These are the type of conversations, to be honest with you, I don't like. Why should I have these conversations? It's because every day you experience something different, and every day you change. And so it's wrong for you to assume that your spouse understands that you're changing. You have to communicate that. And even if you don't understand how to communicate that, communicate it to the best way that you can. Just express your thoughts. Express how you feel at that time. And sometimes it's just the exchanging of your words to your spouse is what's going to make that real important. And so be very, very intentional about that. So next thing you have to focus on when it comes to your marriage, understand that you're different. That's right, you're different. So I am a very high energizer, outgoing person. And my wife is a very, reserved, task-oriented person. I'm people-oriented, task-oriented. So we have both different strengths and different weaknesses. And that is okay. And this is something that I think people get so confused. And don't get me wrong, we get confused with it at times. But that's kind of that foundation I always focus on. We're different. God created us to be different because we are different. Her strengths are probably my weakness, and my weakness are her strength, and vice versa for both of us. So now we complement each other. Now that doesn't mean we don't fuss. That don't mean we don't argue. I'm gonna tell you this: arguing in your marriage is actually a healthy thing because it shows you that you are different, and it helps your other individual see that, hey, I am a different individual. I am someone who view life and experience life completely different than how I usually experience it. So that means is that it's okay for you to be different. You have to embrace this fact. And this take time. This take time for you to be able to sit down and say, hey, how do you view this? How do you do this? One thing for me and my wife, when it comes to our finances, we do our finances together. But what I found out, like, the way that she calculate math and I calculate math, it's completely different. It's nothing wrong with it. It's just our minds are completely different when it comes to numbers. So guess what? We found a system that works, that makes sure that we come together and we make sure that we're talking on one accord, one mind, and we help ourselves understand how can we understand, like, you're different, I'm different. It's okay. So how can we complement each other and accept that fact? And we always want to change somebody, but why don't you learn to accept who you have, and then you can be able to really grow your marriage even more. When you accept somebody and stop trying to change them, that's when you can start enjoying your marriage. So I challenge you to really focus on that. Okay, and so let's go into relationships. Now, relationships, when I think about it, is connecting with like-minded people. So when you build a relationship, with your spouse, you and your spouse are like-minded individuals. Y'all have similar goals. You have similar things that y'all want to strive together with. But also finding other people that you want to be able to connect with and build a relationship with them. And finding those other people that you value the relationship, or maybe you never got to a point where y'all was having maybe good intent, great conversation. Maybe it was small talk. But you start realizing, hey, I want to be able to build a more quality relationship. So what is a more quality relationship? Quality relationship is, having those deep talks, maybe digging into, some of your flaws and helping you understand why you have those flaws, and, expressing some of your thoughts with that person, just like you would with your spouse. And maybe if it's a gender, you can go a little bit deeper, because sometimes males need to be able to talk with males. Females need to be able to talk with females. You can do this exact same thing with your spouse, but I believe sometimes, to the degree of what you're talking about, you need another gender to be able to express that. So those are the type of relationships you have to go through, because here's the thing. When you are focused on wanting to have this growth mindset that I always talk about, there's going to be times when you don't want to really... There are going to be times when you don't know how to express yourself. There are going to be times when it's going to be difficult. And there's going to be times when you just don't feel like doing certain things, or you don't feel like making certain connections, or you just need help making connections with why it's difficult with the season that you're going through. Not only your spouse is there, but you need those other people who are like-minded, or who's probably been through that, or who are going through that, so that you can say, hey, man, how did you handle this? Hey, sister, how did you handle this? Because if you don't find those type of people learning to vent and learning to talk with that out, you're going to hold that all in. And I promise you that is so unhealthy. And I promise you I will continue to bring ideas and even experts to talk to you about that. Like I said, psychologists even said that, Dr. Catherine Adams, she talked about how that was very, very unhealthy. So make sure that you learn how to connect with like-minded people who are willing to grow, not stay where you are, not stay where they are at, but willing to grow. That means they're going to push you to become uncomfortable, and you're going to push them to become uncomfortable. So together, you're on a journey throughout your life to continue to be uncomfortable, but it's for the better of becoming a better person and to make them better. Okay? So make sure, always connect with like-minded people. That's important with a relationship. And then we go back on marriage. Hey, it's okay to be different. Learning to make time together. And then the third is be friends. So relationships and marriage is all about having great friendships. Now, you say, okay, well, how do I distinguish between a relationship and marriage? Well, I believe you have to be friends before you can build a relationship, before you can have a marriage. If you're not friends first, then I promise you, this is something that's going to be hard for you to really move past, that friend level, or even deepen those type of relationships. is because you are not allowing yourself to experience something more deeper with that person. So, like I said, we just had opportunity to come from a trip, and I had all great friends, all 8 of them, all of them in different seasons of life. All of them have kids. Some have 3, some have 1, some have a 4 or 5 month year old, so 4 or 5 month year old. But it's so unique to be able to see how each one of them are still growing and developing in their season of life, in their careers, in their marriage, in their career, in their faith. And I love that. I love to see how God is constantly working in each individual, because when you have those multiple perspectives and you come together, that's when you start to learn and understand how people view the world, and understand, like, look, I'm not going to force this on you. This is me as a friend. I'm sharing you my viewpoint on life. And when you share that together, you start to realize, okay, maybe some things that they said validates the way you have been thinking, but you just maybe didn't want to talk it out. And maybe at the time when they share that with you, you were like, maybe, okay, I need to talk that out. And now you have opportunity to connect with that person. Like, hey, what do you mean when you say that? I've been thinking about, that as well. I've been seeing that on social media, and that's something that's bothered me. And I didn't understand how to maybe, express it. But what you just said really hit me. So what did you mean by that? Maybe you see a post, somebody post something about whatever topic it is, and that topic is something that you're like, I want to talk that out with somebody. Or I want to, what other people may think about that, or what my friends, John or whoever your friends are, and what they think about this. Because I believe it's okay to be on social media, but it's still even more important to be able to have people to connect with, to have that personal one-on-one. I don't care how much social media that you spend your time on. I don't care how much you're in front of a screen. I believe that to an extent, it's going to come to a time when you have to put your phone down. You have to look somebody in the eye and say, how you doing, man? What's going on inside your mind? What's going on inside your heart? How can I be able to help you to become better at who you want to become? And when you get to that point, you understand, like, that's what friendship is for. Like, I need to be authentic, which I need to let you know, hey, I'm struggling with this. And then that builds up that friendship. And then you start building great quality relationship. And then when you get a group of people who think this exact same way, and then all those group of people happen to want to be married or are married, and they all want us, like, hey, let's go on this journey together. That's when it get fun. That is when you realize you are not alone. You get me? You are not alone. The biggest problem that we have in today is that people think that they're alone with what they think or how they feel. And that is the lie. That is the exact reason why every Tuesday I come here at 7:45, is because I need you to realize is that you are someone inside. It's someone inside of you that you want to bring out, but you don't know how. You're constantly scrolling, looking at everybody doing this, everybody doing that, saying this, saying that, but you don't have a voice yet. You don't know how to express yourself. You're doubting yourself, so you don't even say anything. You just hide behind the phone. You don't even post anything. You just look on everybody else's page. You look on everybody else's social media feed. But yet it's someone inside of you, and you need to learn how to voice that. You do that when you are able to reach out and have those friends. Build that relationship. And even if you're in a marriage, to be able to go to your spouse, because that's your best friend. And if you need help with doing that, comment below. Say, hey, man, how do you start this? How do you do this? And that's one of the things that I am excited about, is I'm going to continue to build this page and build a community of people who want to connect. People who's like, Jahbari, I like this growth mindset that you're talking about. I like this mentality. Like, I want to grow, move past, where I'm at, and I want to go to a better place with who I am and how I feel. And how you do that is start connecting with like-minded people. So, in order to connect with like-minded people, you need to find other like-minded people who want to grow. And as I come to you and I continue to explore what is the difference from a fixed mind and a growth mind, you'll start realizing, this is a journey. This is a process. And then I have to have people that I can come to, that I can express myself, and I'm not judged, that I'm not, thought of in a negative way. And that is what my show and everything that this page is going to represent, is to build that friendship, build that relationship in a form of a marriage. Now, I'm not going to bed with you, but no, it's the point of having someone you can turn to, having someone that you can call and say, hey, I need help walking through this, or hey, what you guys think about this. Maybe I have a project I'm working on. Hey, I have kids that is going through this season of life that I need help. I'm going through the season of life in my marriage. How can you help me out in my business? Maybe this next step in my career. It's going to be tons of information, tons of opportunity where you can be able to express that. But I'm not going to go into that too much. I just want to continue to be this gift. So one thing I always ask is give me feedback. Let me know what you think. Always comment if you like information I'm sharing. If you like, hey, Jahbari, I want you to touch on this. Or, hey, I want you to improve this, or I want you to improve that. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to hear anything that you have, but because I want you to embrace this in every area of life, this growth mindset. All right? So if you have any questions, please feel free, comment below, and just say, hey, Jahbari, I have some questions on this. Or, hey, man, you don't even have to put it on. You can send me a direct message and say, hey, I have some thoughts on this. Or you have said something. I like what you said. What do you mean? How do I express this? Whatever it is. Just come to me. You're not alone. Stop thinking you're alone, because if you keep thinking you're alone, you're not going to make no progress in life. You're going to think the world is against you, and you're just going to continue to be internal. You're going to be depressed. You're going to be anxious, and you're going to be like, what was me? And I'm telling you, if you choose to take that step outside your comfort zone, if you choose to ask yourself what's your self-talk in that time when you're not feeling good, and act on it and stop just staying in your head, I promise you, results will come. It's going to take more time than you think it's going to take, so take action now and don't wait. So you know how you do that. I want you to think about me through the rest of the week. Ask that one question and then say if it's positive, this is good. It's the growth mentality, the fixed mentality. And go with it. Attack that negative self-talk and say, you know what? I deserve better. So you know that question that we end with every week, and I want you to go and use it and explore it and do the thing that you need to do to become the better you. That's all life is about, and serving others. Be the example. What's your self-talk?